What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Bad Batch Season 3 as it is Bad Batch season. But before we do get into today's news, remember to hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell so you're always in the know. Also, because we are fast approaching 4,000 subscribers and we get the video and channel trending, don't forget to have a membership program and a merch store. Guys, without further ado, let's start today's episode. Now, in Season 2 of The Bad Batch, Dr. Hemlock insisted his cloning experiments at Mount Tantiss and were crucial to the Empire's future. Now, we immediately deduced that this was tied to the cloning experiments that would lead to Palpatine's resurrection in Star Wars' The Rise of Skywalker. The Emperor's visit to Mount Tantiss confirms this theory, with Palpatine continuing his efforts to overcome death itself, explaining why this is known as Project Necromancer. Now, the core problem, though, lies in creating a Force-sensitive clone for midichlorians cannot be duplicated and must be injected into the clone body. This is why Dr. Hemlock wants access to the Kaminoan clones. They are his test subjects, and he has been having midichlorians injected into this. Emir gave Crosshair a mysterious injection in Star Wars' The Bad Batch Season 2, but his body seems to be rejecting it. This presumably means that Dr. Carr gave Crosshair midichlorians and it isn't going too well. Nala Se was conducting regular tests on blood samples taken from clones, which were presumably then treated with midichlorians to assess whether they were likely to be able to accept the donation. She had secretly been running interference to help Omega, however, by destroying the blood samples before they were even tested. The Emperor's visit disrupted everything because Dr. Carr was tasked with conducting the daily blood tests in Nala Se's place and ran Omega's blood sample through the machine. To her surprise, she found out that Omega was compatible with midichlorians, and this makes Omega the key to Palpatine's cloning experiments. Somehow, the Kaminoans successfully created a single clone whose body would not reject midichlorians. Omega is no ordinary clone. She has always been considered a mutant. Although the reason has never been explained, it now seems likely that Kaminoans were secretly trying to create mutant Force-sensitive clones even before the Dark Times, and Omega was the result of that. The Empire had previously only been interested in Omega because Dr. Hemlock thought necessarily that to ensure Nala Se's compliance, Omega needs to be there. This blood test changes everything because Hemlock will want to figure out everything and how to reserve and engineer Omega. If he can do so, then he can create Force-sensitive clones at last. And this would be a huge step forward for Palpatine because he would be able to transfer his dark essence into a clone body. In theory, the Emperor would be able to have the clone body's M count increased, making him more powerful after death and resurrection than ever before. Nala Se clearly knew Omega's count and body would not reject the midichlorians. There's only one reason she could have known this: if Omega had been designed for this purpose and already treated with them. Now, the precise relationship between midichlorians and the Force is a subject of intense debate in the fandom in general, and the higher the midichlorian count, the easier it is for being a tap into the Force. Injecting midichlorians with a viable clone should theoretically allow them to tap into the Force, granting them Force powers. Omega has not demonstrated any real Force sensitivity in the past, but there's no real reason tapping into the Force should be easy for a clone, especially if the midichlorians they carry were extracted from someone else. Omega did learn how to meditate from a little interaction with the Wookiee Jedi named Gungi, and this could help her tap into the Force. Crosshair, meanwhile, is a much more complicated case. His mutation must have made him theoretically amenable to the midichlorians, otherwise Dr. Carr would never have moved on to the next stage, injecting them into his body. Crosshair's body seems to be rejecting the midichlorians, though, meaning the experiment is a failure for him. The interesting question is whether he can still somehow learn to tap into the Force based on the midichlorians now in his bloodstream, and it will certainly be exciting to find out. But overall, it seems that Season 3 of The Bad Batch will be linking every Star Wars era together when it comes to the cloning aspect and seeing how it all links up and leads into the rise of Skywalker. But guys, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and theories from this news and hearing about the cloning aspect and how Omega could potentially be force sensitive and if she will ever tap into that. As we've seen certain things, even just her with certain creatures, she has a connection to, as we've seen Ezra have a really close connection to some of the creatures in Star Wars Rebels as well. So there is something there with Omega, but overall, will we see it this season? Light it up in the comment section. Let me know again your thoughts and theories on this news. For more Star Wars content like this, hit that subscribe, like, and notification bells. We're fast approaching 4,000 subscribers, and I'll catch you in tomorrow's video.